ahead, record it.
Mm-hmm.
All right, switch chairs. I kicked Joel out. Carrie, are you sick of me yet? Probably not. Yay. Okay, it's Monday night. You guys are back on the Monday night Zooms. For those of you that are brand new, I'm Stefani Dunn. I've been with the company for almost 10 years. Next month, in just a few weeks, it'll be my 10-year anniversary. So crazy how time flies. And, you know, things have changed, but also it comes back full circle. And sometimes, you know, I realize, God, if I just go back to how I used to talk about things when I first got started, it'll kind of mind blow you. So this week I have a special guest that decided, I kind of messaged her and she was on my heart to jump on this Zoom. And so it's exciting because, you know, she's excited anyway. And so it's always fun to be around people that want it. They're excited to learn. They want more and they want to pour into others. And that's just a little bit about Carrie. She's always hungry, but also always willing to give no matter who that is. So I'm not going to go into my story because I think it's important to hear from her. But just so you guys know, I started just as like many of you as a brand new distributor, and I worked my way up. And so that's what tonight we're really going to talk about, recruiting, because we get paid a few different ways, and that's enrolling customers, enrolling distributors. And that's always probably the main question I get is I'm posting or I'm doing these things and I'm not getting anything. Well, we're going to teach you some of these things that will, I think, help that mind shift for you to be recruiting machines. But Carrie, introduce yourself. Give us your 60-minute kind of your story or 60-second, not 60 minutes. We're not going to do 60 minutes. You guys know I'm like 30-minute Zooms. Let's get to work and get going. But give me a quick, if it's longer than 60 seconds, that's fine. But a little bit of how long you've been in and what you're all about.
Okay, so I'm Carrie. I've been doing this business for 5 years, and it's just so crazy because 5 years ago, we were actually 4 years ago, we were living in my parents' basement. And I just remember, like, my husband was working all the time, and then we had my son. And when they placed my son in my arms, it was like, oh my gosh, like, I'm just going to give you the world, like, I just knew I was never going to look in his face and say that you weren't worth this. And so I think that was like a moment that I was like, oh, I'm going to go all in. And 6 months after that, I was already a diamond at this time. But 6 months later, we took our team from diamond to presidential diamond, took my husband's account from making $1, like $1 over his auto shipment, to over 13,000 just his account in 6 months, you guys. So we were living in my parents' basement to that. And then like 6 months later went ambassador. So a year from diamond to ambassador. And now I'm 2.0 presidential. Like, we're just having the blast.
That's awesome. So you are married and you have 2 kids. So little ones. So tell them their ages, because you're a mama.
Yeah. Yeah. And so I have Riley, and he's 4, and Asher is 1. Yeah.
Okay.
So very busy.
So, I love, and how old are you, Carrie? Just so.
I'm 28.
Okay. So young, maybe not 20, but I love that there's always different ages. Sometimes people have kids, sometimes they don't. So I always love to give you guys that little bit of a perspective. And, Carrie was just with me for a few days at a John Maxwell event, and he always opens your mind on perspective. And it really got me thinking, and we kind of had a fireside chat after it, and it made me think about, we've been so blessed with some kit codes and some promotions, and and people were rocking and rolling, and right now you guys are crushing it with customers. Like, I love that. But I want to get back to the importance of enrolling distributors and enrolling your team, and how we can do that with the $99 kit. And so as we're sitting there, it makes me think back of when I first started. So when I first started, it actually was $199, and then it shifted to $99. So that was kind of the norm. But when it was $99, this is what I was kind of talking about with Carrie is, if I talk to somebody first, it's always easier to talk to them about a customer. And so maybe they were going to buy the box of wraps for $59. And so after I got their information, I was excited for them to get started. I'd say, you know what, for $40 more, you could always join me, and actually I'll help teach you how to get your free product with your first 4 loyal customers and really teach you how simple this business can be. Would that be something you'd be interested in? And it was like a non-pressure, like, well, yeah, I'm getting the product. Why not try? And so this is the same thing that I want you guys to think about we can get 2 bags of keto coffee in those business kits. So you have 4 kit options, right? And so if you're talking to people and they want a month's supply of keto coffee, it's $80 for $20 more. Wouldn't it be great if you join me and I can teach you how to get results, but actually learn how to get paid? See how this is kind of a full circle for me? And I just love that. So Carrie, was that kind of something that you saw as a perspective too? Like, oh, I'm going to use this.
Yeah. And actually I was watching a Zoom, and I learned from this other top lady in a company, and she said so when you talk to somebody, you say, hey, well, there's 2 ways that you can get started, on our products. You can either start as a customer, or you can join as a distributor. And so I think when you stop saying retail or loyal, well, that's all that you give them, but you say you can be a loyal or you can be a distributor. And so I was like, geez, what other, like, that's awesome. And so I know one of my girls, Kiana, started doing that on our team recently, and people were like, oh, well, it just makes sense. And so I don't know I think she's on here. Maybe you'll drop your wording. Her wording is gold. I'm telling you, it's just gold. So, and it's just like, we heard that Zoom, we were like, oh, that's good. Or YouTube video. I was like, oh, that's good. Just tell them that's all they have. Cool. You want to use products, or you want to use the products and get paid?
And that's it. Really, that's what it comes down to. Are we offering it? And I think that, for new distributors getting into this, it's just sometimes that fear of being turned down, or what if they say no? I'm just going to break it to you now. They're going to say no. They may not respond, and that's okay. Don't take it personal. We're in this, feeling the same way as you did. I remember those feelings. I'm sure Carrie felt that same way, but you know what? Those don't pay your bills. And that's what we want to teach you, is you're going to start getting that tougher skin. You want more, or you wouldn't be showing up to these Zooms. You wouldn't have joined. And somebody probably wouldn't have offered it to you if they didn't believe in this business. I'm not going to offer it to somebody if I don't believe it. But I think, for me being a top recruiter year after year, it's always because it's changed not only my life, but so many others' lives. And so you got to trust the process, and that's just part of it. So Carrie actually gave me she did. Kiona. I love that she did that. So Carrie, I don't have my bifocals on. Will you read that out loud for everybody? Hopefully She doesn't freeze, but thank you for sharing that.
Her wording is gold. I'm telling you guys, she's gold. So it says, yay, 2 options to get you started. Option 1 is the 90-day results challenge for best results. You'd receive my 40% discount for 3 months. So you'd receive it for only $36 a month. You have the flexibility to change your products anytime, switch to try something new the next 2 months if you wanted, and change the date of the month you're charged to suit your needs. Amazing, plus perks, plus flash sales, and discounts for life. Or option 2, so she sends this separate in text or however she's messaging. Or option 2, we could get you set up as a rep. Use and share the products just like I do. Get the same discounts and perks and more to be able to make some extra money, enough to cover the products monthly or as much as you like. Endless opportunity and so much fun. Which sounds best for you?
Mm-hmm. I love that. So thank you for sharing that. And that's why we love doing these Zooms, because it's just sometimes a word or two, or just switching it up. So that's the ThermoFight X. I can tell that just by, what she's saying. And so I want to give you guys some things that you can use tonight. So why I said the keto coffee, we want to use a conversation starter. And so people love samples. Samples doesn't mean free. So take a picture of your keto coffee. If you don't have keto coffee, get it. And here's why. You're going to post, you're going to share about it. You're going to talk about, the benefits of it, how it makes you feel. And then you're going to post about having maybe 5-day samples available. Drop before they're gone. So you just open the door for a conversation. So they drop an emoji, they're like interested, or you see that they liked it, they're not part of it, it works, you're going to message them. They gave you the right to go, I'm going to open this door. So you're going to take the time to message them and say, hey, I saw that you're interested in my samples. Well, I do have that option, but you can get 3 for $20 of my samples. I didn't say free in it, samples. Samples are not free. If I wanted free, I'd say that. And so, but what most people do is they want the wholesale pricing. So you can actually get 2 bags for, that's $39 a bag. So 80, what is it? I'm trying to think. $78. Give them the 2 options. So the retail, show them the higher value. So this is the value or the retail, and here's your wholesale pricing. And just say most people do this option. So they're more than likely to go, oh yeah, I'd rather do that. It's the savings. And then that opens the door to go, you know what? You're going to get great results. Share some pictures of some people, saying maybe what your results are from the product. And then bam, you know what? You're going to get the 2 bags. I think you would love it if it's for $20 more, you could become a rep and actually post like I just did, and people will want to become your customer distributor. So it's opening the door from a simple sample post to all of a sudden now it may be a customer and now maybe a distributor. I promise you guys, once you start figuring that out, it's going to be so easy to talk about the distributor part of it. And even if they don't do anything, the worst case is they're going to do a sample. What if they don't want to do samples? I'm going to get them somehow. Okay. So they may not want to do samples, or they don't have the funds. You know what? You get paid on a certain day. Great. We can set you up for that date. We'll get you in the calendar. But you know what? Also I do is, hey, we're doing a team giveaway right now. And so if you share this post for me, I will enter you to win or enter you in our giveaway. Or maybe you go, hey, could you just do me a favor and post this? This is a great way to get some things going for you. So don't be afraid to do that. So even if they don't, worst case, even if they don't become a distributor, don't become a customer, don't do the samples, they're more than likely, because you have a conversation, will post for you, which can lead to more conversations. And that's the name of this game, is conversation. So, right, Carrie? Like that's what I'm going to keep throwing you out here. Like, is that right? Like, am I talking right?
Nope, you're talking right. I'm taking notes.
I mean, this is the best part of getting around people. It just opens up your mind to make me think about what was it like for me? How do I constantly think? And I know that I think differently than some people, but it's because, again, I believe in it so much that I think people are crazy if they don't give this a shot. So give me some hearts or something in the side if that makes sense to you guys. So say, yes, that's good. Okay, thank you. I need some interaction because I can't hear your voice. But, and Carrie, those simple little, like words that you said, I said, give me some of your scripts. And we talked about this a little bit about, God dang it, some people are in Instagram or Facebook, they make it look like they just do pretty stories and distributors drop out of nowhere. Well, that doesn't necessarily happen for me, guys. So this is the truth. I'm sure that they're doing a poll, they're doing something, they're seeing who's watching them, and they're messaging them. So I want you to know there's work involved, at least for me, if that makes you feel better. And so I do message people. I may look at them and go, gosh, I really want to message them and just say, hey, I think you'd be great at that. So Joel, I need you to post this for me in the comments.
Oh, so now you need it.
Now I need Joel. He's just going to be my poster. So I said, Carrie. So Carrie, share what you would do if you're messaging somebody. You're like, all right, I'm going to give it 100% for the next hour. Like, what would you be sharing? And this is the follow-up I think he's going to send out first.
Right.
Oh, so I just keep everything so simple because I feel like every time I overcomplicate it, I get less response. Riley, no. They're like, we lock them out of my office. They're like, so I just literally will I like to do people that view my stories because I know at least that they've seen kind of what I do. And so I'll look who viewed it. And if I have messages in there, I'll say, hey, or hey girl, I think you'd just be awesome at what I do. And I just keep it so simple because then they're like, they always come back and be like, oh, what do you do? Or if they've been following me, they'll say like, oh, no thanks. Or they'll say, oh yeah, I've kind of been thinking about that. Mm-hmm. And so it just kind of gives them a compliment, like, because they're like, oh wow, she thinks that I would be good. And it's so funny because going back to like Kiana, I actually met her in an airport and I blitzed her. Like, I just literally was like, oh my God, you're so funny. I think you'd be awesome at what I do. And then I'm like, what's your Facebook? I just added her and now she's double, you know? So I'm just saying, all you have to do is say, oh my God, I think you'd be awesome at what I do. So that's all I say. That's literally what I say and it works.
I kind of laugh because I looked at her text to me and I thought, it's like 6 words. And, you know, we have to remember that this business is simple if we keep it simple. And so we can make, somebody get on mute. Hold on a second. We got to mute all except for Carrie. Okay. So I think, you know, sometimes we think, oh gosh, there's all this wording that we need to memorize. We need to know, but really it's just asking that question. So that just kind of kept me in check of, okay, yes. And Carrie had asked me this too, like, well, what do you send? And I'm not scripty. So I know that you guys like scripts and stuff, but I take the time and I'm a 1-finger texter and I'm messaging them like that because that's what works for me. Like, we're going to give you these ideas and you're going to develop into something that just works for you. And maybe you're a voice message person like, hey girl, I just think that you'd be awesome at what I do. And then they're going to be like Carrie said, well, what do you do? It opens a conversation. And that's the goal, is don't worry about how many messages you sent and they didn't respond. How many can you get to at least open it? If it's 1, that's a win. So celebrate that you messaged people. So make sure that, you know, that's a big, big deal. It makes me think about this, Carrie. You know, when you said that, hey, you know, I think you'd be amazing at what I do. This is no different than in real world. And here's an example that happened to me years ago. I was, I think 21 years old. And that was just a couple years ago. And I was walking through the mall, and back in the day, Lancome was a pretty cool, like, makeup company. And they all used to have super jet black hair, ponytails. They all look the same. Well, that was me. I had dark hair. You know, I just kind of fit that image a little bit. Like, if I were to walk by, yeah, I could see myself. A girl that worked at the counter that happened to be one of the people that looked for new hires said, hey, I think that you would be a perfect fit for this company. Not knowing that I didn't have a license or anything, but it made me go, yeah, I think I would too. And so she got me in for the interview. And the next thing you know, I'm traveling around for Lancome, managing 5 different states.
What?
That's how that happened. Could you imagine if she wouldn't have even asked, and what I did for that company just by her doing the ask? And so no different than that. And I need to share that a little bit more. I think that's important, that people are looking for you, you know, what that means to them, a compliment, you know, on doing that. How do I explain how to message about the samples if I post? So great. If you guys scroll through my pictures too on my Facebook, you'll see some pictures of like the keto coffee and just different things, but I post it and just, I'll have Joel upload my verbiage on the sample post that I do, because I didn't have them do that tonight, so that you guys can copy that. But I'll post it and then I'll just say, hey, I saw that you were interested in my samples. Even if they commented or if they liked it, I just let them know, hey, were you interested in hearing more about my samples that I have available? Once they say yes, again, I open the door. Then I say, okay, I have samples available. They're 3 for $20. Or what most people do is they actually become a customer and get my wholesale pricing, which you can get 60 of or 30-day supply for $78. Retail, it's this price. And that's what you're going to want, because you're going to want the results. And I'll show you a few pictures. So I'm not afraid to show results pictures too, because most people want results if they're looking, you know, for a product. So that's how I start it. And then again, hey, you know what? For $20 more, you could always be a rep like me. If you can post, you can do this business. Because really that's what a lot of you are doing, is just posting. And, you know, I didn't sign a few distributors last week, and I'm very goal driven and motivated by my personal goals. I don't, I'm not against anyone but myself. And I was like, dang it. I didn't really put in the work that I wanted to. So I knew in my mind today I was going to do it. And so when I was talking to one of the girls today, it was, if you can post, I'm going to text you right now a post that will be your first post. If you can post this, you can do what I do. And she signed on the spot because she said, I can do this. And so sometimes we just make it so hard that we don't think that they can post, but you all know how to get the information to them when they post, right? And so don't be afraid to do that. And if you're new and you're like, oh my gosh, I don't even know myself, you have a team of people that want you to win. So you need to get good at saying, I posted and asked for help. And that's what we're here for. And if you're not asking for help, that's your fault. Don't ever think that a question or asking us is crazy. I don't ever want you to feel like there's a stupid question being asked, because that's how you learn. And I heard it over and over this past week with the industry leader, a legend, John Maxwell, saying he's constantly asking questions. Mm-hmm. And so if you are asking me questions, I know that you're hungry. I know that you're going to win because you're learning and you're going to continue to grow and master being a networks distributor. So those are some tips that I think, will really help. I'm going to ask Carrie this question. And Carrie gave us some great, super simple, like asks to do. And so don't be afraid to do that and grow your network. But this is a good question, Carrie, because, we get this, and I know that you'll get this question, and it's, I need some pointers on how to get people. No one seems interested. I leave blitz cards on cars, and I post a lot on Instagram and Facebook, and I get nothing. How would you answer that?
Okay, so, well, oh my God, blitzing on cards is like, okay, that's like somebody did that, left a card, and my sister was like, what's this? And she threw it, because the best connection is when you actually connect, like you actually see them or you like touch them. And so maybe you touch them in person, like you hand them it, or you touch them through the computer. So like when Stephanie was like, I message like crazy, I was like, oh yeah, that's gold. Because I think sometimes people do need to be reminded, because you see, these pretty Instagram stories and you think that it has to be like that, or like when Pam posted about the Instagram filter today, I was like, whoa, that's so true, because we look at other people's Instagram and their Facebook and we're like, oh my God, they just look so perfect. But that's not how we are signing people. Like, we're either doing the actions that, behind the scenes, like whether it's doing host to post or reaching out to people on Instagram, or like doing that next step, like taking the ask. And so I would literally ask them, say, how many host posts have you done? Mm-hmm. And then go through, okay, how many people do you talk to today? New. Mm-hmm. And I heard this from somebody else, and they said you ask the questions, like how many people did you ask to be to try the products today? Mm-hmm. And they're going to start saying, oh, none. And they're like, okay, these are the things that you need to be doing,
mm-hmm.
And so I asked the question.
And that is something that sometimes we take for granted as leaders, that it just becomes natural for us. It's an instinct. And that was another key thing that somebody said on stage this weekend was, as you're going through this, like for me, nobody told me to go watch the videos. Nobody told me to get on calls. I just did it. And I have to break that down into baby steps, because not everybody has an intuition of how to talk to a distributor, how to do that. And so breaking it down like this, like how do you do a host to post? This is how you talk to people. So when you go back with Carrie's, it breaks it down onto, and I'm like, no, what is it works? And she messaged back, this is what it is. So make sure that, that's what we're trying to give you, is those steps in between distributor to diamond, like that, what you really want to know. So I'm going to give you some tips on that question, because I get this all the time too. First off, I'm so proud of you for doing that. That's a huge deal, for actually putting the blitz card on the car. So I want you to celebrate that. We can get better. And that's where this comes. This is a great question, because I'm like, all right, She's got the Blitz card. She's willing to do the work. She's hungry for it. So how can we get better at this? And what I would suggest, because this is what I do and I love it because I'm a people person, is put a sticky note on that and actually hand it to somebody. Maybe you're a mom with 2 kids and you're walking into the grocery store and you see a mom with 2 kids and you could go, hey, you remind me a lot of me. I have a coupon for you. It's actually the business that I do. Write down your name and your phone number and your Facebook because I have an opportunity and I'd love to share this with you. Now she can relate to you. It's somebody that is a connecting piece for you guys. So it doesn't have to be awkward like, oh my gosh, there's, this pretty 19-year-old that I'm going to go up to. I mean, I will because I'm not afraid, but I might go, hey, there are 19 to 23-year-olds killing it on social media, just like that person at Lancome did to me and said, I think you'd be amazing at this. I would love to be a mentor for you or teach you and share with you the opportunity of how you can make some extra income from your phone. So knowing your audience. So first you hand out those Blitz cards. That's a big win. So, but how can we get better? And how you get better is you keep doing it. You keep asking the questions like, okay, I did this. Now the next question is play a game with yourself. How many of those sticky notes can you bring back to search on Facebook and Instagram to grow your network? And guys, that's a great way for you guys to grow your network. Even if you've never blitzed and you're like, what is a blitz? It's going into your back office and ordering the coupons. Everybody loves a coupon. Even I do, and I make a lot of money. Carrie was talking about like, I got these shoes for $20 and my shoes are $400. Dang it, you better believe I want the $20 ones. So we all love coupons. It doesn't matter how much money you make. So wouldn't you be excited if somebody came up to you and said, I think you'd be amazing at this. I can relate to you. Oh my gosh, you're a busy mama like me. So whatever that is, or, some of you are dog lovers. Like I know you're all dog mamas or whatever. So go to the dog park. There's opportunity everywhere you look, even outside of social media, or hashtag on Instagram, dog moms. Now you have that connection and you can send it over. And so that's one way. So that's handing out the coupon. That's blitzing. I got to read back on this. And then Instagram and Facebook is an amazing platform. However, just posting doesn't do anything. And so we want to post because we want to be relevant and we want to sprinkle through what we do, what we're using, how it's making us feel, how excited you are for growing in this because you're becoming amazing leaders and amazing wives and friends, sisters, brothers, whatever you are, spouses. So know that, as you're in this, you become a better person too. And so you'll get better with that. But understanding it's for the ask. So creating some of those topics to open the door, you'll get better at that. And then how many people, like Carrie said, are you asking? This is another thing that it resonated with me, Carrie, was I think you said, I sign a lot. I can't remember. Do you remember the words that you said to me? Okay, unmute yourself.
I remember what I said because your definition of a lot is a lot more than my definition of a lot.
And that's what we need to hear because I don't know what this person means on a lot. A lot to this person could be 5. A lot to me is 500. So what is your definition of a lot? And let's figure that out. So that would be my first question to them is, what is your definition of a lot? Because then we can work through this. All right, well, maybe it was 5. Well, let's up your a lot to see if we can increase the response that you're getting. Does that make sense? And I don't know, I didn't mean to throw Carrie under the bus on that, but was that a good perspective for you, Carrie? You're amazing, but I also want people to know your definition of a leader is different than the definition of what my leadership means. So there's no wrong in this business. It's what we're willing to do and how bad do you want it and how many more messages that you want. So that's I post a lot. Doesn't necessarily mean that you're asking for the host to post, asking for people to do a favor, growing your network. I think, yes, thank you for reposting that, Erica. Let's find your definition of a lot. I've really kind of eye-opened a lot this week, and I hope that there was some key points in this. Carrie, do you have anything else? If you're going to be a top recruiter, there's a word that comes to mind, and I'll see if it matches what I think, and I'm sure it will. But when you think of a top recruiter, week after week, month after month, year after year, what do you think that means and takes? And again, it doesn't matter necessarily if you're getting them right away, it's when. So give me that tip of what you think that is.
Well, I have this tip. I wrote it down and I was like, ooh, I really want to share this because I was thinking about, I think it was like last December, I was kind of like going through, it was like November, December, I was like going through a slump in my business, and I noticed that I wasn't signing distributors like as much as I wanted to. And so I was like, all right, I got to make a change. And so I just got out a piece of paper. And so I just encourage all of you guys to do this because it completely changed my business. And so all I write is I sign 10 Rockstar distributors monthly. And then I wrote 3 affirmations like I am a distributor signing machine and I change lives daily and people are chasing me down to join me. And so I changed up, actually just wrote this because I had one when I was moving, and I just put it in my office or anywhere you're going to see it every day, and I would read it. And I was like, yeah, I am a distributor. I'm telling you guys, I started signing distributors. Like I went from like just a really low number to like, oh yeah, I can sign distributors. This is awesome. And it maybe took a month or 2, but it was literally just me making that decision saying, oh, no, I can sign distributors. And actually, Stephanie, I took all these notes for the Zoom. I like prepared.
So share them. Yes, and share them. I want you to.
So I wrote down, I also realized when I wrote this that what, are you spending your time focused on? Because when you're spending your time so focused on host to post for customers, products, I'm, posting all these pretty pictures about products and this is so awesome. Well, you're more than likely going to sign customers. And so I know when I need to sign customers, that's what I post for. That's what I message for. That's what I do host to post for. But when I'm ready to sign distributors and it's like, hey, I got to get my 3 plus that many, like my 10. And so I'll post all opportunity posts. I'll post everybody's stories. I'll, message for distributors. I'll follow up for distributors. And so what are you, focused on? Because that's what you're going to sign, and I have to share this because I thought this was so good, is you can't get to the top with just customers. And that, you just that's so true. So a lot of you will be like, oh, well, I can sign customers. Like I just sign customers. I'm not very good at distributors. Well, that's just a mindset, because I know when I was great at customers and I was like, no, I'm just going to be great at distributors. And it just takes a quick change. And my other one was, I had a whole other page of notes was, yes, I hear you. I have to share this too because I think this whole Zoom is supposed to be about the $99 kit. That's why the first page was all about $99.
Good, share it.
So my other thing was, how many broke people do you see get their nails done? And how many broke people get their hair done? And they spend at least $100. And so just that switch from when that $20 shift to $99, I literally mentally had to make that shift in my head. I said, no. I signed $99 distributors. And I'm telling you, that month, my enrollments were really high because I signed 99 distributors because that's just is what it is. It's all about what you train your mind to, to do. And I just thought that was really good. But people come up with money. They come up with the money when you create the value. And I create value by sharing all the success stories of other people. Because people don't believe me. They don't believe me and they don't care what I make. They just want to see that they can pay for their groceries, their cell phone bill, their nails, their gas payment, their diapers. I mean, little things. And that's something that I personally even have to go back to posting about is little things. Little things. That's all people like, hey, she got her nails done. Oh, I want to get my nails done. Little things. I think we forget that. And then also I wrote too.
So, people want more. Carrie, just before I forget, because this is a great thing that you said, is ask the question. It's a conversation starter. Who gets their nails done every month?
Oh, that's good.
Now you know that they have the money to get their nails done, that you can offer this business opportunity. So you're going to have all of these people that you're like, they're into taking care of themselves. They have the funds. There's your door. Or what are these other little extras? Who goes out on date night once a month? Or whatever those may be that you think, what's some extra money that you would love to have? But that's opening the door. These are just called conversation starters. So You guys are going to sign so many distributors just because I just expanded your mind. So Carrie, thank you for that, because that is
I have one
important.
last thing.
$99. Yes.
I have one last thing, because I wrote this down and I was thinking about it. Some of you guys have full charts, okay? Something for me is when I have a full chart, I don't sign as many people. So what I have to do is I said I sign more distributors when I have a chart to fill. So what I do is I will literally, let's say that I have a Ruby that may not be working and I'm like, oh, but she's fully chartered. I will take that Ruby and she is now a 400 spot. I mean, I obviously still want her to go Ruby, but I want more rubies and I want more diamonds and I want extra volume everywhere. And so I do notice that when I'm full, I don't work as hard. And so I just always am printing out new charts. I'm recharting people. I'm dropping people, because then they're not dropping people. I'm dropping rubies to 400s. And now the chart is just so strong because I'm always signing distributors. Because if you're not signing distributors, you're not growing.
Yeah. And that's it. So mindset is usually I would say 98% of this business. So that is where you want to be. So you believe in this company, you believe that you're going to change your life. $99 is worth changing that life. $99 to not get your nails done for a couple weeks to have that investment back. Why wouldn't you try? That's just something that you're going to want to look for. So make sure that you guys understand that's no different. It used to be $2.99 to join. And people are like, how did you do that? And we're like, we believed in the business. We believed in the opportunity. We didn't even have bonuses, and you guys have bonuses. They can join for $99 and be guaranteed a 3K guarantee by following the 3 simple steps that we're going to teach you how to do. Like, why wouldn't you want to try that? And so putting that value is so important. And I think that when people invest in this, it's showing commitment. And that's what I heard. So the word that I want you guys to do is take this word and write it down. Every day. That is what I heard this past week, is every day, whether you feel like it or you don't. Like, obviously I look a hot mess, and I told Carrie, I was like, no, don't put makeup on. I want people to see us look like this. This is normally how I look. Like, I've got mismatched stuff on. I don't really care. I've had so much going on, but every day I want to show up. Every day I want to ask new people. I want to have a conversation with somebody. So every day you can do that. Now, that doesn't mean that we're always going to get distributors, but I believe because I put in the work every day, they're going to follow. So that consistency of every day. So if you look at people that you're like, gosh, I want to be a top recruiter. I am a top recruiter. What does that mean to you? Every day. That's what I want you to do, is every day, if you show up for an hour, every day, give that 1 hour 100% of your time. And the rest of the day, you can give 30% to whatever. And so, that was an eye-opener for me. So the 99 is no different than $20 to $200. It's what we put the value on for it. And don't be afraid to ask, because if they want to change their life, if they're willing to post, they can do this business, and you can show them how they can quickly turn that around by giving them their first post and helping them with those first few customers and gathering distributors down the way. Carrie, was there anything else that, you had on those magical notes of yours, since you had awesome notes and I love them?
Okay, so I just wrote, post about real life things. Like I said, the groceries, the nails, the car payment, but I love this. And it says, people can't relate to fairy tales. And that was just really good to me. So I remember when I used to post about when I was promoting from Diamond to Presidential Diamond, I knew I needed a big team. And so I would be and I do believe posting is so huge. Like, don't not post, but like, obviously take the next step. But the post can actually draw some people into, if you have a network as you're growing it and stuff. But it was always, every time I took a picture, I would literally have to think, where was I? And where do I want to be? And I always would start, I remember 5 years, or I remember 2 months ago, we were trying to do this, and this, but it just sucked. And just getting that emotion, and just, I love that too. Cause they taught us this weekend or last weekend to just take a moment of time And just by how I started this Zoom and I told you my stories, I just told you a moment of my story. And from that, you got the whole story. You saw where I was as a mom, you know, wanting to give her child the world, you know, I was able to do that. And I'm doing it now with the ending. Wow, this is awesome. I learned something. And then bringing it back and saying, this is where I'm going now, and I'm just so excited. I don't know, just being really real with people, telling them where you were, where you want to be, and people can't relate to fairy tales, really.
I love that. You can write the story that you want. Like, don't take that away, but people need to hear those chapters in between of where you got. So I think every piece is so important. Every single piece, because I know that if I said, oh, it was so easy, I just got this top and I didn't have to work and they just came to me, you'd be like, well, okay, how am I supposed to do this? So I love that I can just give you guys real life things, and even going that full circle of knowing how I used to talk about getting started. You guys, I didn't have the money. $99 to me, it was a whole lot. Like, it would put food on the table. So think about that. Like, I invested because I wanted to change and I wanted to do that. And people will do that if they're serious with you. And one last thing, Carrie, first off, thank you so much for jumping on and sharing your wisdom and her excitement. Just being around her, she's excited. And I think you guys can sense that. It just pulls something out. But we want to keep this so simple. But I see everybody just thanking you and loving you. And I appreciate that so much, because sometimes I think, gosh, what more can I give? Like, is there anything left in me? I don't know. But sometimes I'll have this. But this is what I want you to do. So next Monday night, we'll be on. And this is how you become a top recruiter. And something that I want you guys to kind of think about is get around better people if you want to become better. And that's constantly what I'm always wanting to do, is to get around good people that make me become better, that helps me want to help even more people. And that's what we're in. We're in the help people business, you know, give them hope. And that's where you're at. You have products that can help them feel good, get healthy, get skinny, get toned, you know, all of that, but also the financial part that you could help somebody change their family's legacy. And that's what I love about It Works and our leadership, and all of you for showing up week after week, every day, you're going to show up and you're going to get better, and you're going to continue to put yourself around better people. And we appreciate you. And you all better tell me, like, you know, feedback on those customers and distributors that you're rolling in, because I want Mark to be like, what in the heck is going on? And all these distributors are coming in at 99. And then when they do run a promo again, you guys are just going to light it up even more. So I appreciate you. Thank you again, Carrie. I just love you to pieces. And you always make me laugh and have a good time. So have an awesome Monday, and let's go crush the rest of the week. Love you guys. Didn't get the picture.